Bridge Healing Center's live tarot share, and today we're going to be talking about the court cards and how you can use them. So my name is Io Kirkwood. I'm here at the Bridge Healing Center. I'm a tarot reader and have been for over 35 years. And we're located at 400 North Center Street in Westminster, Maryland. It's in the Town Mall of Westminster. We have a store here and an event center, and the tarot shares are in person, free. You can come in, you'll get the lesson, and I have people sitting here with me during the live, so you'll get the lesson. You'll also get a one-card reading from me, and then if you bring your tarot cards or you use one of our test decks, you can exchange readings with other participants. And what will happen is, it would be a great idea if you do come in person to bring a journal and a pen, because you're going to learn a lot of amazing things. So let's talk about what is happening with the court cards. So there are 4 court cards per each of the 4 suits, and so we have what's called the page, we have the knight, we have the queen, and we have the king of pentacles, or the king. So those are the 4, and in an initial look at the tarot deck and what a court card might represent, the pages could most likely represent a young child. The knights could be a young man, like someone in his early 20s, and a queen could represent a woman in her 20s and on upward. And then of course we have the king of pentacles, which is someone who has mastered all of the lessons. So it could be a male or a female, but it tends to stereotypically be male, but we will address that when we are looking at how to use the court cards as significators. So these individuals in the cards can represent a certain type of energy or a modality. So what you're going to find is that, well, pages, there's only 3 modalities. So pages generally in that context mean that they are the message, all right, the receiving of the information that will start you on the modality path. Then we have the cardinal energy of the knight, and cardinal energy is a thrusting energy. It's new beginnings. It's, things are moving forward. There's a lot of energy and passion, and depending on what suit it is in, it could either be in swords, which are mind, cups, which are hearts or our emotions, and pentacles, which would be something along the lines of, say, career or financial decisions. And then of course we have the wands, which would generally indicate some kind of will-based thing, spiritual thing that is happening. So when we look at the suits, we're going to look at what that element represents, and then when we look at the court cards in the suit, we're going to look at what the type of energy is. So knights are that cardinal energy, and this is something you can look up on the internet, and I would recommend that you look at vetted sources, multiple sources, to make sure, because some people put occult blinds in this very simple information that isn't going to harm anybody if it's just presented properly. So what I want to do is the next step is actually the fixed modality, and you'll see some tarot decks put the order as page, knight, king, and queen. All right, and the reason that they might do this, and I'm not saying for sure that it is, but the reason they might do it is because the modality is like a wheel turning. So if you have cardinal thrusting energy, it's going to then fill something. All right, let's say it comes into a fixed form. So that's the fixed modality of it. And then what will happen is, because of entropy, things decay, we have a mutable energy, which means that the energy is transmuting from fixed energy, mutating into new cardinal energy. So The queen is usually, like on the chessboard, she only needs one because she is singular in her mutable energy, which is the energy of destruction and also the seeds of that cardinal energy, which is birthed forth from her. The other thing that you can use the court cards is, for your significator, you can use it to represent the various zodiac signs, okay? And if you are really knowledgeable about astrology, you know that those modalities indicate certain types of signs within a certain element. So say Cancer would be a cardinal energy, so then the Knight of Cups would be somebody who represents Cancer. All right, and we might have, say, a fixed energy in Earth. That's going to be Taurus. So you know when you pull the King of Pentacles and out, that this is probably going to represent a Taurus. And if you have a Queen of Wands and it's mutable energy, it's going to be Sagittarius. All right. So it can indicate people in the reading. It can also indicate a period of time. So zodiac signs, of course, have sort of a 30-day sort of cycle throughout each of the months of the year, right? They'll share like April and May. I believe that's Taurus. Yes, April and May is Taurus. So they'll share half a month, being able to go through 2 months. But right around that time is when spring is really getting into its full expression. And that's what that fixed energy means. So when you look at these, you're going to look at, the element, which means that it might be a fire sign, a water sign, etc. And you're going to look at the modality, if you want to do that. Now, picking a significator, I usually read for adults. I don't necessarily read for anyone under the age of 18 unless it's a special circumstance, because I'm not trying to get into, doing anything with children in that capacity. When they're able to come to me of their own free will and ask for it, then I'll consider it. All right, so I usually end up with the King and the Queen. All right, now sometimes you're going to have somebody who comes in and you're not going to know. You're not going to know what their preference is, what their pronouns are. They may not tell you, and if you really are in a situation where you feel that you may offend somebody because, of their gender choices, and not being able to tell yourself because you're not a mind reader, what you can do is you can say, what is your sign? And when they tell you, oh, I am a Pisces, then you pull out all of the Cups cards, the Page, the Knight, the Queen, the King. You lay them before them and you say, which one do you want? And you can do that with everybody, all right? And they'll pick the one that they identify most with, but keep it within the actual sun sign that they are. And the reason why is because the deck itself is keyed to those associations, and people genuinely seem to express those sun sign qualities very, like, in the subconscious. It's something that they are. It's not something they have to think about. It's not like their ascendant, where they think that they might be an air sign, but really they're Gemini rising, and something of that sort. So when you look at the court cards, right, if you're picking one in the beginning of a reading so that you can say, this is our significator, we're keying the deck into this person, they've selected their card, it's in the center here, and now I want to know the cards that are attracted to this person the most and what they're thinking about. Then you get to have a lot of control over where those court cards come up, right? Because you're picking one. So you know that if, like, I'm the Queen of Wands, you know that if you're doing a reading for me, the Queen of Wands is always going to be in the center if you're using a significator. All right, so all the other court cards are people probably outside of me, or they are reflections of some kind of energy or pattern of behavior that I'm carrying that's being reflected back to me. So when court cards come up in a reading, there are many ways that you can deal with it. There are some who use court cards as modifiers. So they'll put a court card down and they'll be, oh, it's a court card, and then they'll put another card down on top of it because now they're looking for additional information about what this particular court card represents. And sometimes you can get the understanding of what it means. Court cards require you to use a lot of your intuitive symbolism and collective unconscious metaphors to read them, more so than even the major arcana, because here we are looking at the elusive human being rather than principles and human experience. And people, as you know, are quite interesting and multifaceted. So, if you are going to finally get into really learning the court cards, there are a number of books out there that go over them. I know that the Witch's Tarot is one that actually has it uses the modality form to actually interpret the cards. So that's where I learned that particular model. And of course there's Mary Kate Greer, who is, one of the most well-known tarot instructors and just book writers that there is on this particular topic. But you're also going to do it by doing your one card reading. Oh, a court card came up. So now you're going to figure out who that person is, or or what that particular characteristic is that's going to manifest today, or that manifested this day when you pull it in the evening. So court cards are fun. I consider them a little more advanced than even the trumps of the tarot, the major arcana. And they're a lot of fun to work with, and they really do expand the reading if you are in tune to them, aware of them, and working with them. So that concludes our lesson on court cards today. Certainly feel free to drop any kind of comments in the comment area. If you have a question or anything, I'll be happy to answer it. And we're here at 400 North Center Street in Westminster, Maryland, 21157 in the Town Mall of Westminster. This is the Bridge Healing Center. My name is Io Kirkwood. I wanted to let you know we're having an in-store festival on December 16th that is going to run from 12 to 6. We will have activities for adults and children, and we will also have practitioners here where you can get a sort of a taste reading from them, or a full reading. We're going to have the Soul Shepherd, Eileen Strange, Leah Windy, who is an excellent Reiki massage person. I will be here giving $25 readings, and there's going to be lots of sales. Are buy 6 get 3 free, so come on down and get that last minute shopping done for Christmas with some really unique gifts, and they won't really hurt your pocket either. So come on down, 400 North Center Street, Westminster, Maryland. Our next Tarot Share will be on December 12th, and then we're taking a break until the new year. I hope that you've had a lovely Thanksgiving and that you are planning to spend more time with friends and family. Namaste.